what? I can't land a plane.
You don't watch the video.
Not,
See,
well,
you don't watch the video.
even if I had the headphones on and air traffic controllers are telling me what to do, I'd probably crash us somehow. I'd find a way to do it. Not intentionally, or maybe intentionally. Who knows?
I'm like, get Derek out of here. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'll take over.
Yeah. I'd be like Luke Skywalker. I'd turn off the instructions and just use the Force, Luke, and I'd find a way to land it on my own. That's what I would do.
So there's this clip that's been showing up on whatever I'm watching recently. It's about an old, I think, supermarket sweep game. Old classic supermarket. Like it seemed like late 80s, early 90s.
Love supermarket sweeps when I was a kid.
Yes, so did I. and the question is, who is Luke Skywalker's father? And the guy answers, Anakin Skywalker. And they go, ooh, sorry, that's wrong. And then the guy goes, Darth Vader. And they go, ding, 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 ding. That's correct. And everyone was like, no one says that at the time, but nowadays fans are like, oh, y'all should all have been fighting. Like, how do you not know?
If I am the guy that said Anakin, I'm suing supermarket sweeps after that. I'm bringing I own supermarket sweeps now.
That's you now.
They humiliated me on TV, and they keep.
You're getting the gold hams. You get all the gold ham that you need. You want.
I get the giant inflatable RC cola can that's got the unknown value on it. I get all that stuff, right?
Yep. Oh, I used to love that show. I don't know why I liked it so much.
I don't know either. I loved it too.
It's answering questions. I liked anything that like was a shopping spree. Toys R Us, I think, used to do a shopping spree, and I must have entered that thing.
Yes,
hundreds of times.
And at the time, it was only like a lame like $500 shopping spree, right? Like, wait, a $500 shopping spree. I'm like, oh well, shit. This is 1988. I can get
all the GI Joe toys and Transformer toys I want. Yep.
Do you remember there was that one Nintendo game show that used to come on?
Yes, Video Power?
Maybe that's what it was called, but you could always win a shopping spree from Toys R Us on that. I remember that as one of the prizes. I think Double Dare had that as a prize too, shopping spree at Toys R Us or KB Toys or something like that.
Video Power with Johnny Arcade. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
It was like a video game. I remember. No, it might not have been Nintendo specific. It was arcade specific, but like the final game was always that.
They used to have ghouls and goblins.
Oh, it was like that Knights. What was that one where like it was like a cartoon?
I know what you're talking about.
That was always like the final game that you had to
play. What's it? Sound bad.
I gotta remember it. Animated arcade game, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair, yeah, yep.
And that guy, he was like real tall and skinny with the hair, and it was just right or left all the time, right? Like you had to choose. It was all animated clips.
Yep. It was like a play your adventure or something like that. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, they was giving out Neo Geo consoles. Neo Geo.
I remember wanting a Neo Geo, but those things were like $800. They were very expensive. And they had no
very
games.
Expensive. Nothing. I don't understand why they cost so much.
But was there when the CDI? Remember that one? Where you could play Bonk's Adventure.
Yep. TurboGrafx, was that TurboGrafx 16 that could play the Bonk's Adventure? But I do remember CDI.
Oh, now I gotta look now. CD.
I did a Bonk's reference to my friends the other day because anytime I think of anyone with a big head, immediately Bonk goes.
CDI, compact disc interactive. Maybe CDI is the one that had that weird Zelda game on it. Did you ever see that one?
Yes. TurboGrafx 16 had Bonk's Adventure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they were all very expensive. And then TurboGrafx 16 had the portable TurboGrafx 16 that could play the normal cartridges. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I wanted that one real bad too, and that was like $500 at the time. It was like, I don't know where I'm going to get $500.
You can't have enough birthdays for $500 when you're a kid. Because that's the only where I got my money. That's where I got my money from was from birthdays and Christmas.
I remember in whatever, must have been 6th or 7th grade, maybe 8th. And I can't remember which, the Jordans, the ones that had that like weird, like a little mesh on the side. I think they were like Jordan 3s or
Force,
4s.
the Force.
I love
I
those
believe.
shoes. Love those shoes. Love the black and gray
I,
ones. $120, right? That's
Mhm.
what they were. I remember, Mom, can I get Jordans? No. Can I get Jordans? And she strategically played the, I'll pay for half if you can get this other $60. Like, where the hell am I going to get $60 at?
Yep.
I'm like, I'm 12 at most, right? Like, where am I going to get $60 from? I never got those Jordans. And then when they like re-released them when I was like in my early 20s, I was like, I ran to Foot Locker and I bought them. They were still only like $120. I'm like, great. I bought them. I didn't even try them on. I bought them. I got home and they didn't fit my feet. They were way too narrow. I had to return them. I had to walk of shame them back to Foot Locker. I'm like, these don't fit. Did you try them on? I couldn't. I didn't try them on at the store. I just like, give me size 13s. That's what I want. I know I've been wanting these shoes for 15 years. Give them to me.
I know it. Yep.
And they did not fit. And it was almost like they were designed not to fit a wider foot in any capacity. Like I would have had to like, you ever see those videos where like the woman puts on shoes and like her two smallest toes are sticking out the side, and then
Yes.
she'll draw like with a permanent marker the strap going over those toes. I couldn't even done that with these shoes. I would have like scissored out the side to get my foot inside of them, but I couldn't even get them on my feet. It's like,
Those
man.
early Jordans are pretty narrow. Some of those early Jordans are pretty narrow. They still, I get to a lot of the retros now, and they do hurt your feet. So some of them do, but yeah, some of them were not. I remember how I used to get money. We used to collect cans from family members, and bottles, and take them back to the grocery store for a nickel. And you're like, 20 gets me $1.
Oh well, you lived in a state that had deposits, though. Right? Yep. I didn't live in a state that had deposits.
That is how we used to tell family, don't you throw those bottles away.
Oh, I know. Shoot. We lived in Michigan.
Michigan's like 10 cents, isn't it?
10 cents, yeah, for like 6 months. I remember, well, now, shoot, you buy a case of Coke or whatever, and it's like $15. Back then, it's like, okay, give me a case of Coke. And there was an extra $2.40 on top of that. I'm like, this is a ripoff. But then you had to go back, and you had to drag all those cans back to Walmart, and they had the damn, like, you had to put each one in individually. Vroom, vroom, vroom. They gave you like a receipt. What a scam.
Listen, I was the only way I could make money back then.
Like, whoever's in charge of that idea, the deposit, is just counting on people being too overwhelmed by the process of returning them.
Well, but it was also a way for the homeless people to clean up the streets.
Oh, that's true, like, too. They would incentivized.
They'd just be walking around with a shopping cart full of cans in them so they could take back and make money. It kind of helped clean up the streets.
Yeah. I won't be surprised, though, if somebody came up with some sort of law to, like, make it illegal for homeless people to return cans.
Oh, that seems horrible.
But it seems pretty par for the course.
It does. It does. I get so upset when I see those and I understand, but it just seems very inhumane. Have you ever seen like the store places that will put spikes on their leg thing so that no one can sleep there? And I understand, but it just seems very inhumane for me.
It is.
I don't like it.
Yeah. So many people will go through so much effort to make it that much harder to be homeless, as opposed to let's find a solution, right? Let's do something about it in a positive way. Yeah, well.
It's like they're birds. You do that to birds when you don't want them to say like.
But even then, like, one, it's ugly. Like you look at a sign, it's got like 1,000 spikes sitting out of it, so birds don't build a nest, just to prevent like a bird's nest. Come on.
It's really to prevent them from pooping on your sidewalks. And cleaning up the mound of poop that you'll have to do.
That's true too.
Yeah. So
whatever. We have to talk about something very important, Harland.
Okay. All right.
Very, very important. Darren Waller.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
What is going on with that man?
He's heartbroken.
That girl broke him. He cheated on her, and he is now like, boy, I messed up big time.
And she's playing in WNBA,
throwing shirts 80 yards into the stands with perfect form.
And he is, man. Her stretch on that throw is
That
great.
that throw was like one of the greatest throws of a shirt I've ever seen.
Better than the gun. Have you ever seen how sometimes how weak those guns go?
Yes.
You'll be sitting in the stadium like, bing, bing, go, and it goes, boop.
Yep.
It goes 2 rows. Then you're like, oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I could have handed that to you.
Exactly. But
Oh.
yeah, no, first that music video is ridiculous.
Oh my god, I couldn't watch more than 10 seconds of it. I was embarrassed for him. Like it was bad, but then I was like, "Oh my god, you willingly put this out. It didn't leak. You put it out like this is going to really change some people's minds."
It's gonna bring her back. It's gonna bring her back.
Do you think that's what he was trying to do? Bring her back?
I think all this is. He don't look happy. He doesn't
No.
look happy.
Well, yeah, he doesn't look happy at all.
It's very, very sad. And I wonder how much of this, not that it would have helped his game last year, but how much of it affected him, because he's clearly affected by by this.
Yes.
It is taking up everything for him to just say, it's not in me anymore. That's the part that I don't understand. Do you want to play football or do you not? To me, it seems like an easy question.
Mm-hmm.
And do I feel like playing football? No. All right, I retire. But I guess it's like, well, do I have another job?
Does he need another job? Does he need that money?
Well, listen. Who knows? What if we don't know what divorce thing is going in his plans? He may need another job. I remember. I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought that Michael Strahan had to play a few more years due to divorce. It's
possible.
There are many people that have to. I guess I'm still working. I guess I'm still working.
Don't want to be, but
Yep. Lose half of what I am. I guess I'm still working. But yeah, no. The Giants are expecting him to say he's retiring, and they're going about it thinking that he's retiring.
I think the world is expecting that. And here's
and the music video told us.
Yeah, the music video was like, okay, he's retiring. Now he's just prolonging it. And now here's the thing that stinks too. I saw that after all the June 1 cuts and stuff, the cap savings happened. The Giants were the lowest team with cap space with only like $1.1 million in cap space.
Yeah, they're hoping that he does retire. I think they get to save like $9 million.
Yeah,
if
but then they still
does.
got to eat a chunk too. They still have a bunch of dead cap associated with it. I want to say it's like 5 to 8 million in dead cap. But I mean, if he's not playing, he's not playing. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what their tight end situation is, but
they drafted a tight end.
Well,
3 years in a row they've drafted a tight end.
Here's the thing about tight ends: they're not all Sam Laporta. Like so, most of them take 2 to 3 years to be good.
They've drafted Daniel Bellinger. They drafted like 2 years ago, and I like Daniel Bellinger, and he had a good rapport with Daniel Jones when he was playing.
Okay.
So last year I thought it was kind of crazy that they went out and got a tight end when I thought Daniel Bellinger was their future tight end. So then they went out and got Waller, and they had Daniel Bellinger, and then I think they drafted a tight end last year, and then they drafted another tight end this year. So they have a tight end room that's got young talent in there that can be developed. Are they top 5 talent? Are they pits or probably not? But they're supposed to be happy with one of the tight ends that they got this year and the one in the draft. But like I said, OTAs are ridiculous. It's just all happy things, mostly happy things you hear from you. Like the Giants page is showing one-handed catches by everyone, and now as a Giants fan, I'm like, put 2 hands on the ball.
Yeah, quit showing off.
If you need a one-hand pass, it was not a good pass, and that's not good for the quarterback.
Yeah.
Or you just need to put 2 hands on the ball. Though I don't want to see these one-handed catches.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll see him in a game. That's fine every once in a while.
And the game is fine because that's because there's a defense on you. But I'm seeing one-handed catches and nobody's really on you. Like I'm seeing like you're running, doing a crossing route, and you got to go back here for it. I don't want to see that. But also, speaking of the Giants wide receivers, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see that? So, I guess Joe Shane he started his career with the Carolina Panthers, like
Okay.
really when he was young.
Okay.
So I think he's friends with Steve Smith.
Oh yeah, I saw Steve Smith was there.
So 2 years in a row, Steve Smith has been working with the wide receivers in New York. He last year somewhere he said he joked that he was going to be a wide receiver coach for the Giants, and I was like, I'll take that. And this year he was working with Hyatt and Neighbors, and I was like, I do like to see this. And yes, please be a wide receiver coach.
I bet you he is an impossible coach.
He yells at everybody.
You know, like there's some, like I always thought like, oh, the best players would be the best coaches, but it's
No.
not true because I think they have like a level of expectation. It's like, I could do this.
Just
Why
do it
can't
this
you
way.
do it? Just do this.
Just do it this way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did it my entire
simple.
career. You could do it.
Yes. I do think that. I think great players aren't sometimes very good coaches. But they can be. It just depends on how you got great, right? If your talent was just go up there and dunk it on people, just jump up over them and dunk it on people, maybe that's not going to translate well. But if you practice hard, that translates.
Yeah, I think some guys just have a natural ability to be teachers, and some don't have the patience to do it. Right? I think there's a level of patience that has to come with it.
Definitely.
I love Steve Smith Sr. I think he's one of the greatest receivers I've ever seen play, and he is a delight to watch on television because he talks.
Doesn't care.
He doesn't care, right? He has the same like personality you would expect him to have, and he still has it on TV, right? Like there's no switch when he goes on TV. He's just still Steve Smith Sr. And he laughs every once in a while, but you see him, you're just like, I think he's mad at me, and I'm thinking me, right? Like, what did I do to Steve Smith? He's so mad on the TV.
Yeah,
but
I do too. He just seems authentic. That's the thing. That's the way he seems authentic. I'm gonna say what I have to say. I don't care if you don't like it. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I might admit it, but I don't think I'm wrong.
I'll tell you what. If he is wrong, he will admit it. But I have not seen him be wrong a whole lot
because he knows what he knows, and what he knows, he knows.
He's really good at wide receiver evaluation too. Especially in those pre-draft sorts of things where it's like, these are like the three guys you got to watch out. And then you're just like, okay, he was on the money last year. He's on the money the year before. Like he knows the guys, and he knows what it takes to be a wide receiver in the NFL, and he can tell if somebody's got it or not. So
I love that video. I love it of them making of those guys who never played the game making fun of him saying that Cooper Kupp was the best wide receiver he'd seen.
Yep.
I love that video because they're just like, and he thinks he knows. Who is he?
Yeah.
What does he think he knows?
Just because they didn't like Cooper Kupp, and guess what? He ended up being pretty good.
Pretty good. One of those wide receivers that get paid.
Speaking of wide receivers that get paid.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy. Justin Jefferson. 4 years, $140 million extension with 110 guaranteed.
That's a whole year. That's not even that guaranteed. Just like, I hate that. But yes.
But I think there was like 85 mil due at signing too. So he signed a contract and the Vikings wrote a check for 85 million on the spot. Not too bad.
Not too bad. I
imagine they probably direct deposited or something. I wonder if they let you break it up into a few accounts. Like my work doesn't let you do that anymore.
No. But I'm pretty sure your bank doesn't won't hold the $85 million check as well. It's the FDIC. The FDIC only insures up to 500.
There's got to be special stipulations and rules for such things, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like okay, we can only insure $500,000. Okay, I'll open 170 accounts. Like it doesn't make any sense. They can't do that.
That's just listen. They'll take all your money.
Yes,
but if that bank gets robbed, they're only giving you $500,000 back.
Here's the thing: I don't. So let's say I'm Justin Jefferson. I go with this $85 million check. I sign the back of it. I hand over my ID. I tell them to deposit it. And I'm like, give me $200 back too, right? So they do that. It's not like they have $85 million there in the vault.
Immediately.
I don't even think that $85 million exists. Like, I don't
No.
think there's a physical version of that money.
They're just numbers. Just numbers.
So the only way you can steal it is if, like, if somebody pulls a office space or something like that.
And they just, yes.
Fraction of a penny every deposit or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. 85 mil. That's nice.
Man.
If I know Justin Jefferson, I'm not paying for dinner that day.
No.
There's no lunch. There's no lunches being paid by me. Jay, you got it.
Yes. Mr. Jetta, I need you to pay for this. And I am getting a drink as well with this meal. But so that brought up, well, there's all sorts of things that are going on with wide receivers, but I had some numbers I wanted to share that I thought were interesting, and I got to scroll to find them because I was trying to find a scroll. There we go. The highest average paid NFL players, 1 through 15, are quarterbacks. Between 55 and 37.5 million per year. Number 16 is Mr. Justin Jefferson, and then the highest guaranteed contract guarantees 1 through 11 are quarterbacks between 230 million. We all know who that is, and 126 million. Number 12 is Nick Bosa with 122.5, and I'm sure some of that's going to somebody's appeal fund. And then number 13 is Justin Jefferson with $110 million. It's insane. But this is the one I wanted to share. Go ahead.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say, well, outside of quarterback, because we all know that they're going to continue to top the charts. And who do you see topping Justin Jefferson? Any non-quarterback player that could possibly beat that?
Nobody.
Defensive player, because he'd have to be an edge rusher.
Yeah, it'd have to be an edge.
It'd have to be an edge. There's not going to be an offensive tackle that makes that much money. There probably won't even be a cornerback that makes that much money. Like, will Justin Jefferson be tops unless he's beaten out by another wide receiver? Because I just don't see anyone. Now he's in the stratosphere where I just don't know. I don't think anyone is going to top that. Aaron Donald would have been a guy that you would have threw a lot of money to in his prime. But I wouldn't do it to a Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa. Who else? Myles Garrett. I wouldn't throw. Like, I'm not throwing
about
that.
TJ Watt?
TJ Watt, still young. He could get paid.
They're all still
another
young.
Contract. Yeah.
I think the oldest one out there is Myles Garrett. He's probably 30, right? Like,
yeah, but for some reason, it look like those Bosas look like they're tailing off. They don't look like the numbers are what they used to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really care for the Bosas as people or as edge rushers. I mean, they're fine. I think Nick Bosa is a little baby. He's the one that yells at fans and cries on his way to the car. Not the crying's bad, like not crying tears, but the crying of like, "So you do it if you're so good." I'm like, shut up. Just they're fans. They can yell at you if they want to. All right. Average salary percentage of league salary cap this year for wide receiver contracts. Who do you think is number one?
Or percentage of the team salary cap?
Just for this season.
Ooh. It's gotta be Tyreek Hill.
It is Tyreek Hill. Because
they haven't paid Tua.
Yeah. 14.4% of the salary cap.
I was gonna say AJ Brown, but Hurts is getting paid, so I knew it's not him.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams.
It's just the percentage of the salary cap. So if the salary cap's $250 million, Devontae Adams is getting 13.4% of that.
Probably the tops on his team.
Yes.
I can't think of anyone else that would be getting paid more than Devontae Adams.
Maybe Max Crosby. I don't know if he signed his extension yet or not.
Yeah.
And then you got Terry McLaurin at number 10 at 10.9%, which is a name that he's getting that, and he didn't he? Oh no, he didn't sign a contract. That was the other guy from Curtis Samuel. So Terry McLaurin, almost 11% of the Washington salary cap.
What's crazy about that is that means the Dolphins have 25% of their salary cap.
Almost 26, yeah.
Two wide receivers.
Because they paid the crap out of Jalen Waddle, like $3.85 or something like that. I was like, wow. So every time a contract comes out, there are two teams that are cringing. And that's got to be the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, and it's got to be the 49ers with Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk was one of the better, most productive wide receivers of last year in general.
Yeah, I just don't see how they can't get a deal with Brandon Ayuk. Is he in the open market? Do you think he is worth those top guys?
He'll get money, yeah. He's a
He'll get money.
He's a really good route runner, and he's really productive. The
On
thing about him, go ahead.
On that team, I take Deebo Samuels over him.
I think the 49ers are ready to move on from Deebo Samuel. And I think it'll think.
But then they need to pay Brandon Ayuk. And then if that's the case, if that's who they did, that's why I don't understand why it's so difficult to get that deal done. I don't know how much time does he still have on his contract, because I also don't. He could have years on his contract and just won a new one, or is he a franchise player, or he's only got 2 years left on his contract and he's towards the end of his contract and he wants a new one?
I think he's still on his rookie deal. Brandon Ayuk is. I think he's got the 5th-year option. I think he was a first-round wide.
Okay, so he's looking for his extension. Right? He can get his extension.
Right, I think he was that same draft. I think it was a 2021 draft. So right now he's on season 4, and he's got the 5th-year option next year.
Yep, club option. Club option looks like it's this year for 2024.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's on the 5th-year option this year then. So.
Yep, and that makes sense. He doesn't. Yeah, no one wants to go into that.
Nope.
That year without an extension, especially when you could have got an extension. What, last year?
Yeah,
4 years.
And last year was his best season too. So 49ers, dragged their feet on that. I mean, they gave Deebo that big contract, but I think they're looking to try to figure out how to get out of that. So we'll see. Justin Jefferson's contract with ranking with wide receivers: total value, first; average salary, first; total guarantee, first; guarantee that's signed, first; signing bonus, first; year 1 cash, a ton; 2nd year cash, a ton; 3rd year cash, a ton. He's making, out of his, 140, he's making 95.7 through 3 seasons.
Oof.
It's just, and then that 4th year is the big year where they pushed it down the line. But that'll be at the time when, especially if J.J. McCarthy is. Luckily, they won't have to worry about that. So.
Yeah, that's 3 years. Yeah. If JJ McCarthy's got 2, maybe 3 if they don't start him day 1. Right? I think starting a quarterback day 1 starts the clock immediately. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 years. Into the 2nd year, he better be showcasing his talent. If he starts 6 games into the season, then he gets that 3rd year to actually do something.
I'm gonna tell you what, I don't know what talent he has to showcase. I mean, he's gonna be Tim Tebow Part 2. He really is.
I don't see where you see Tim Tebow.
I don't know if
Tim Tebow's. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like if you're basing this on what we saw in college, we saw Tim Tebow in college
be pretty good.
He was really good.
Yeah, arguably one of the better college football players ever. Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as quarterback hype and expectations, draft position about the same spot in the middle of the draft, 1st round, and just not being good. And they're going to be moving on from him in 2-3 years anyway. So I love it that's the Vikings.
But he has Addison and Justin Jefferson.
Sure.
That if anyone could make you look good.
Sure.
And T.J. Hawkinson, he's in a situation.
Yeah, he's got a great situation.
He better do more than just hand the ball off.
He's got a good offensive line. He's got a decent backfield because they got A.J. Dillon, right?
Yep.
Packers cut him.
Uh-huh.
Vikings grabbed him. Justin Jefferson, yes. Jordan Addison, yes. Hawkinson, yes. All those are great, right? That's all great. Do you think he's better than Josh Dobbs?
No.
Because Josh Dobbs couldn't do shit with those people either, right?
Well, Josh Dobbs was on his third team in like 3 weeks. Like
But but okay. So if you don't think JJ McCarthy is better than Josh Dobbs,
I know.
yeah, me neither.
And that could be just because I've seen Josh Dobbs play in a professional game.
And be
Like
competent at times, but not good. Um, yeah, I don't see JJ McCarthy eclipsing Josh Dobbs. Is he better than Sam Darnold?
no.
No. And they have Sam Darnold. I would imagine he would be the
Yes.
starter. And here's what's going
He
to
should
happen.
be.
Sam Darnold is going to be the better quarterback. He's going to be the starter. But the moment Sam Darnold has a bad game, everybody's like, we got to bring in JJ, got to bring in JJ. And JJ's going to come in and get his face
Bell
kicked
rock.
in. He is going to look terrible. And they're like, well, see, he's in a bad situation, which he's not in a bad situation. There people are going
In
to
a
come up
great
with excuses.
situation.
He's in a very good situation. And then he's going to be the starter next year because Sam Darnold's going to be like, well, get rid of me then. And
So this says okay. They said this year
Mhm.
that Caleb Williams is in the best situation that a number one pick has ever been in.
yes.
Is the situation that Caleb Williams is in better than the situation that JJ McCarthy's in? I don't think it is.
No, probably not. Just okay. So if you go, let's just put value to guys, right? Let's say Justin Jefferson's worth 100, and I would say Jordan Addison is worth, I don't know, 60, right? That's 160. TJ Hawkins is probably worth 60. That's 220, right? AJ Dillon's probably another 60. Like Justin Jefferson is like
Just way above
it's
everyone
just
else.
so high above everybody else, right? So let's say the value of those guys. The only thing the Bears have going for them, in that regard, is their wide receiver core goes 3 deep, their tight ends are
deep.
2 deep, and their running backs are 3 deep.
True. But value for value, they may not like y'all don't have a tight end that's better than TJ Hawkinson.
No, but Cole Kmet is still like a
Cole
top 8,
Kmet is good.
still
He's good.
top 8 tight end, right?
Solid.
And
JJ is JJ.
JJ's
He's the
JJ,
best
like,
wide receiver.
there's
He's
nothing
the
you
best
do.
wide
It's like having Jerry Rice in the 80s. Like you can't be better than that. It's like having Terrell
And-
Owens.
And
T.
Jordan
Owens.
Addison, although this is only his second year, he has proven that he can be good.
He was
so
real
I
good
would
last
still,
year, yeah.
I would still give him a one up if we was going player for player over a Dunze.
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna do it over what's the guy that y'all got
Keenan
from
Allen?
Keenan Allen. He's a pro bowler, perennial pro bowler. He's in it almost every year.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna do that. He would probably be more comparable to Justin Jefferson, even though I think Justin Jefferson is miles better. But accolades wise, that would be your 1A to their 1A. But
It's impossible to say who do you have that compares to Justin Jefferson, because nobody compares to
It
Justin
is.
Jefferson,
No one
right?
compares-
Like he's
no
in a
comparison.
class of his own. Like unless you had like Tariq Hill or Jamar Chase, maybe.
and those are still those are things you can argue about.
Yeah.
But chances
Yeah.
are Justin Jefferson.
Nobody's gonna argue that Keenan Allen is in Justin Jefferson's class or DJ Moore is in Justin Jefferson's class. No, but they're both very, very, very good
very
top
good.
tier receivers. But they're not in the ultra elite, but they're probably like both top 15, right? I think they both like graded out and numbered out, like efficiency and touchdowns on stuff in the top 15, right? Which is amazing to have, and then a good rookie.
True,
But
yep.
like it's apples and oranges, or because it's not truly apples to apples, because it is, because they're both football teams. The Vikings probably have a better situation for JJ. Vikings have offensive line might be a toss, but
Yeah. I think if JJ is going to be good,
yeah,
if it doesn't happen in this situation,
it's never going to happen.
he's got to get better faster.
Yeah, he's got to be
Like
good.
he is going to have to reach up to the talent that he has, or else it could be bad.
Do you think that JJ McCarthy can be as good as Mac Jones' rookie year? Now, Mac Jones was a passer coming out of Alabama.
Was decent, but I just haven't seen enough of JJ to determine if he can be.
He's not good. He's not good. Like
I
don't want to hate on the guy, but I find it amazing that that's what you give up you give all that up for the fifth quarterback off the board.
He's going. That was my biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was that was my biggest
Do
fear.
you remember
This
like
draft.
back in like November when it's like, what if the Giants get J.J. McCarthy, and it's like, get out of here, right? Like people are talking about it. He's rising through the ranks.
Biggest fear I could have had was just that they did that because I hadn't seen enough. I hadn't seen enough of him.
Oh, boy, I'm gonna tell you what though. Let's say the Giants did do that, you would be trying your damnedest to justify it and make it work. I know.
I'd be so mad.
But you'd be like, but it makes sense. Look at what they needed, a young quarterback. So they got it now because the class isn't good next year, and now you got 5 years.
No, I'd be saying, let's hope he's good. Let's hope he's good. Because from what I've seen, I'd be saying, did you see the pass he threw in OTAs? It looked great. That's what I would be saying.
There was a pass that he threw in like the rookie mini camps where there was like the coach was standing still and he couldn't even hit him. And that got scrubbed off the internet. I couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy, I just don't see it happening. That's just me.
A good situation to be in, though.
Mm-hmm.
Good situation to be in.
Oh, for sure. I got to share this thing I saw. Since we're talking contracts and stuff. NFL players with the top career earnings by draft round. Who do you think is the highest earning first round draft pick?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so career earning.
Yep.
So it's gonna probably be Peyton Manning or Eli. I think Eli actually made more money than Peyton Manning for his career. I'm say Eli.
It's everyone's favorite conspiracy theorist, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
He's made $342 million in his 20 years of football. But look at Drew Brees there in round 2.
I'm looking at the answers. See, I don't want to see the answers. I was going to guess them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson in the third round, almost making as much as Drew Brees in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins, the greatest contract person in the history of contract getting fourth round. He's made $232 million through.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Stephon Diggs is the highest paid fifth rounder. I would have guessed quarterbacks in every round.
Yeah. Tom Brady in round 6. See, now like Tom Brady played half of his or most of his career before like quarterback contracts were out of control, right? Like,
yeah,
he had years.
But he played for 20 years.
Played for 20 years, yeah.
So that's math. Just says it's going to get
it's like
bigger.
it's like the Walmart. It's volume. Like he made all of his money via volume. Ryan Fitzpatrick, $82 million from round 7, and the undrafted Tony Romo made $127 million in his career.
27 million
Out of Eastern Illinois University.
Not bad.
No.
But undrafted. Whew.
Not bad.
He's probably making more though in the broadcast booth.
Oh, yeah, probably. I gotta look it up now. How much?
his contract is
CBS.
because he probably play what? I think he got out in 2004 and probably left. He probably played 12 years in the NFL.
In 2021, the New York Post Andrew Marchand reported that Romo made an estimated $18 million per year as CBS's lead color commentator.
Yeah,
he's among the most valuable commodities in sports media.
Yeah, so it won't take long.
Yeah.
It won't take long for him to be his. And that's only going to go up. He's not going to ask for less money if he's every next contract negotiation. That has got to be like, how much research do you think Tony Romo does?
None.
He's there to talk about the game as he plays and as he sees it.
He has a team that probably does research for him that's paid by CBS.
Yep.
Gives him a whole bunch of stuff. They have all the pregame stuff. Like, here's all the notes. He doesn't watch any film.
He probably watches football like the average fan does. If he's a fan of football, he's watching football.
Probably.
Games that he's may not be doing, or if he knows he is doing that game, that team, he's gonna watch the week before that or something like that to try to catch up. I think he can't be watching more games than I think some hardcore fans are.
No.
or people bet with the money on the line. The people who watch the most football are the people who bet on football.
Yes. And I guarantee, like, let's say he would never be on this game, but let's say he's on the Panthers game. He's not going to watch a Panthers game before that.
He wants to be as surprised as the rest of us.
Yes.
Oh,
they can't be this bad, can they?
or oh man, Bryce is better than I thought he was. Seeing him up close, he's better than I thought.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
But like, that's a lot. He only has to work 3-4 months out the year.
I know.
For $18 million.
I know, it's the dream job, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Jimmy. I always get him and Jerry Jones. Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is the best job on the damn planet.
That's why so many people are online constantly trying to be that so they can get that job. Like, you're not gonna get that job. You never coached a team. You're not gonna, like, nobody's gonna bring in like Bob Schmo, whatever, just to be some analyst.
What's the dude that the Fox has? That's not a football player. He's got he looks like a football player, but he looks like he just never like the best he ever did was high school football.
Jay Glazer?
Jay Glazer, yes. Yes, exactly. Maybe you could be Jay Glazer.
But see, Jay Glazer got into the business at a time where everything wasn't online, right? Like, he probably knew a guy that knew a guy, talked football at a party one time, and like, you got to meet my guy Glazer. He likes to fight, and he's got a bald head. He's an insider. He knows some people, right? Like, that's it. Like, all the guys that are like long-time football insiders or football analysts that are on TV and have been doing it for a long time. And they're not going to give it up. They'll never give up. They'll never. Freaking Mel Kiper's been guessing
1991 or something
drafts for like 50 years, and he's going to do it till he might die on air. He will never retire. Why would he?
Yeah. Good job. It's good work.
I would love to have that job. Boy, oh boy.
Michael Strahan can do that and do ABC. He can do like 15 different things or NBC or whatever he's on, and still come back to football. Every time I see him on something, I'm like, oh man, did he give up the Fox Sports Shop? No.
Nope.
No.
He
I'm
does
doing
that.
I can do that
Does
easily.
he still do the morning show with Kathy Lee or whatever, or whoever it is?
Well, no, he stopped doing that show. Now he's just on
Good Morning
just
America?
their regular something. Yep.
So he does that. He is the host of the $25,000 Pyramid game show. I'm sure he does other things too.
Yeah.
It's like,
you could do anything. You could do anything.
Good for him, I guess. I don't know.
It does look like that the Fox crew are getting ready for a switch. I don't know if it's Bradshaw or Jimmy Johnson, because I'm seeing too much Gronk on that show.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm seeing way too much Gronk on that show, and it just doesn't fit the dynamic in my opinion. But he's the youngest one on the group, so.
I mean, Bradshaw is how old is Terry Bradshaw? He's old.
Old.
God, I gotta look that up. Terry.
The guy on Swamp People's court pass was his backup quarterback. Like that.
He's 75. Terry Bradshaw is.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing that. When did Fox get NFL? 1994. 30 years.
That long. Was he on the whole time?
Yes. He's been doing it was Bradshaw, Howie Long, Jimmy Johnson, and then the guy that's on I can't remember who's on CBS now. Who's the lead anchor on CBS?
Jackson?
No, I can't. No, Brown. Maybe what is?
Brown was on what's name? You think you're right? I think it's Brown.
I gotta look at who.
The guy with the worst hairline on TV. He needs to just cut his hair off. It's his hair starts like back here.
What is his name? I'm gonna get it. Come on, Wikipedia. You should just have a list here of who's on it.
James Brown.
James Brown.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been doing. He started on Fox, so that original Fox team is almost all still there. Because why would they give it up? I remember they also had. Do they? I don't. I haven't watched it in so long. Do they? Do they still have what's this Barry Switzer on there?
No, no, no,
Because Barry
no, no.
Switzer and Jimmy Johnson used to both be on the same
No,
thing there.
Bear Switz is not there. It's Jim Johnson, it's Howie, it's Michael Strahan, it's what's his name? Bradshaw. And I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, the guy on the left.
Yes. Kurt Menefee.
Yep.
Yes, that's his name.
But
I'll
he's
remember that.
the guy that took over after James Brown left.
Yes. Kurt Menefee. Oh man, Troy Aikman's on the show. He's not actually part of that crew, but they showed a picture of him. Like he's not part of the crew. But yeah, now they keep trying to get stinking Gronk in there, and I don't like it.
No,
Doesn't feel like he matches the crew, right?
no. Gronk is one of those guys that has to assert his personality on everything, right? Like it's just like, oh God bless it, I want to hear you wax poetic on whatever, because I don't. I think if he didn't come across as dumb, like in everything he does, right, it would be fine. Like Charles Barkley is the opposite of that. I think Charles Barkley knows basketball very, very well. He could talk basketball all day, but he's a goofball, and he's not afraid to be a goofball. But his goofball doesn't come across as I'm an idiot. Right?
No,
It just comes across as I'm Charles Barkley and I'm a goofball, and I'm maybe saying this just to make Shaq laugh, right? Like that could be the whole goal of what I'm doing. Like I know I'm saying this stupid, but I want to watch Shaq laugh, and that's about it. Because when Shaq gets laughing, it's pretty funny.
Oh, I missed that crew.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sad when TNT is gone from NBA. I don't know. That's just ridiculous. All right. Speaking of ridiculous, I have something to show you.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you, the most touchdowns scored since 2015. So that's like 8 seasons of football. Most touchdowns scored
By non-quarterback?
by either rushing or receiving. Right? Since 2015. Who do you think is the top touchdown scorer since 2015? And when did they last play?
And when did they last play? Man. Touchdown.
I have the top 19 here, and I'll tell you that all of them except for one last played in 2023, last season. So,
Wow. I'm drawing a blank on anyone who would possibly get into it.
When I tell you number one, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Oh no.
He just changed teams this last season, and when he went to the team that he went to, everyone's like, "That makes sense."
See, now I really don't know. What?
He's a Heisman Trophy winner from Alabama.
Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry. He has scored 93 touchdowns since 2015.
93?
Yes.
The rest have to be wide receivers like Devontae Adams.
You'd be surprised. Devontae Adams is number 2. He scored 92 touchdowns since 2015. We talked about number 3 already today once because he makes up 14%. Tyreek Hill, 89 touchdowns since 2023. Number 4 might be surprising because he is a running back.
Okay. Running back.
When you hear it, you can be like, really? But it is.
Austin Eckler?
No. Close. No. He's got a Z in his name.
Wait, what?
And Eckler doesn't have a Z at all. Eckler's got a CK in it. And this guy's name has a K in it as well.
You definitely threw me off with that. I was like,
Close. He's got a totally different name.
Oh man, not Christian McCaffrey.
This guy is returning to his former team after being let go and wasting a year in New England.
Oh, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes, 85 touchdowns.
Wow.
Since 20.
85 touchdowns?
Yes.
Wow.
Number 6 is a guy who spent the first part of his career being the guy that's always hurt, but since going to San Francisco, he just got a large extension too.
Yeah, that's Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Which I don't understand. What I used to think that always hurt also, but then you look at it, he hasn't been always hurt. He plays pretty much all seasons, most of his.
We're just going to do the top 10, but I'm going to skip number 7. Number 8 is a New Orleans Saint.
Oh, Alvin Kamara?
Yes. Now, number 9, he has your favorite. His girlfriend is one of your favorite people on the face of the earth.
His girlfriend?
Yes. She's always showing up at games. It's the greatest love story ever told.
Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce.
You gonna make me seem like I'm a Swiftie. Is that what you said?
Yes. Number 10. Number 10 is another wide receiver. He is on
Mike Evans.
His third team. No, it's not Mike Evans.
Oh.
Mike Evans falls not in the top 20. Not in the top 19, at least.
He's on his third team.
So his third team. He started off with Houston and then was traded for a bag of peanuts.
Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, number 7. I'm going to tell you this name. He has 79 touchdowns since 2015. He hasn't played since 2020.
Oh, I think we know this. Is it Antonio Gates? Not Antonio Gates. What is the dude's name?
He was drafted by
tight end for the Chargers. What is it? No? Okay.
He was drafted when he was out of Georgia, I believe is where he played. He was drafted he was drafted by Fisher.
No. Drafted by Fisher?
Yes.
For the Tennessee Titans?
He was hurt. No. It's when Fisher was coaching the Rams for that brief moment there. I'm pretty sure it was Fisher.
The running back?
Yeah. He's a running back.
Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley had 79 touchdowns since 2015 and has not played since 2020. Todd Gurley won me a fantasy football season.
Those running backs, him and Le'Veon Bell, just like their careers are shortened due to some of their own mishandling of their careers.
Todd Gurley was hurt a lot, and I think that's part of his problem.
Yeah.
Do you know how many seasons Todd Gurley played?
Probably 6.
6, exactly 6.
Probably 6.
His
It was a
rookie year
very
was
short
2015.
career. It was a very short, strong career. He got paid super early. Like after year 3, he got a massive contract.
Yep, they gave him that huge extension.
And then was kind of injured a little bit. And then it's so crazy because he still had more game in him.
Mm-hmm.
His contract was huge, and then he couldn't get a second opportunity with another team after the contract was over, and it just didn't work out.
Yep. Yeah, Jeff Fisher was the Rams head coach in 2015.
Todd Gurley was so good.
Todd Gurley was so good. Rookie of the year, 1,100 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns, 180 yards receiving, no touchdowns. Offensive rookie of the year. Pro Bowler. Second year, played 16 games. That was only in 13 games he did that. Second year, 16 games, 885 yards, 6 touchdowns, 327 receiving, no touchdowns. 2017, he finished second in MVP voting with 1,300 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns, 788 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. The next year, he put up 1,251 and 17 and 580 and 4. Then the next 2 years, 857 and 12. He still scored 12 times. 207 and 2 in 15 games. Man, like he never played a full season, just once. And then his final year, I realize he finished in Atlanta. I forgot about that year. 678 and 9. 164.
And how many games played?
15.
Oh, 15 games with 678?
Yeah.
That's a drop off.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Once you are running back and you drop off that bad,
Yep.
It's pretty much.
Yeah, you're pretty much, yeah. Yeah, he went from 4.8 yards per attempt his rookie year, 3.2, 4.7, 4.9, 3.8, and then 3.5 his final year. He's only 26. I think he got hurt, maybe? I don't know. But he's only 26. That's all he played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons.
He got paid though before he left.
He's
That's
yeah,
so.
67 yards, 67. I'm sorry, 67 touchdowns on the ground, 12 receiving.
Le'Veon Bell is is punching people now. He's doing boxing.
Yeah, that's too bad.
hmm
He had like one or two really good years, and then
Yeah, they were really good years.
he had that holdout year.
Yeah, yep. Him and and then he had to pay half that contract back because he wound up coming back like week 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so he just literally missed out. Didn't sit out the whole year. Just missed out on a large sum of money.
Yeah, he screwed that up pretty big.
Then went to the Jets, and he says to this day, he says that's one of the worst mistakes he could have made.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, I think he even said that he should have.
Yeah, should have stayed in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, let's Le'Veon Bell stats because that year that before
Him and Antonio Brown was just killing.
yeah. Well, so in 2017 he had he led the NFL in carries with 321, which is bonkers, for 1,300 yards, 4 yards an attempt, 9 touchdowns. And he held out, missed the season, contract dispute, 2018. Then he went to the Jets, and then he was only the Jets for a season.
Yep.
And then he went to a season in 2 games. He went to Kansas City. Then he went to Baltimore and Tampa. Yeah. That's too bad. And he didn't get a deal that was like beneficial to him at all.
It's probably one of those, I'll show you, I can do it.
Yeah.
And then you don't get the opportunity.
Yep.
Running back is tough. It's tough being a running back.
It is. Christian McCaffrey got that big deal. We were a 2-year
2
extension
for 38,
for 38
2 for
million.
38. So yeah.
He's the highest paid running back still at 19 million a season.
Which you expect it. If someone's going to get that much money, it's going to be them. It's going to be him, especially on the team that he's on that values him. Yeah. That's the key too. You get on a team that values the position, which is probably the best move that could happen to him getting traded to Shanahan's system.
Yep.
That values the running back.
Yeah. And then finds a way to use that running back.
In every situation you possibly can.
Handing off, yeah. And he's just really good too, so it
helps. That's kind of why I fear for Saquon. Mm-hmm. Because as much running as the Eagles do, they don't value the running back position like some teams would, right? They've had guys on that team who can get 5 yards a carry. Miles Sanders for them was getting 5 yards a carry.
Yes, he was.
Last year they had
DeAndre Swift,
who was getting like 4, 7 yards.
Yeah.
But they don't hand the ball to them often enough, right?
No.
And that's the part where, like I said, I understand what Saquon was. He wanted to get paid. That's really what it was. He found a team that would pay him. He didn't care what team would do it. He wanted the money.
Yep.
I get it, but I just don't know if that was the team because they don't do it. I even think he was on. It happened when it was announced that he was going to the Eagles. Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce was talking on their show, and he said, "Man, I wish I could be under the center and have Saquon in the backfield." But I'm gonna tell him he needs to score all his touchdowns from 10 yards out.
10 yards out, yeah.
Because if not, it's going to Hurts.
Yep.
You're not even going to get the ball in those situations. It's going to Hurts now. Of course, they're going to try to change that now to make they're paying Saquon, but why change the game plan that works?
Yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it, sort of thing. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the key is going to a team that actually values the position. And there's not many.
Well, I don't know if they don't value it. They just don't see the need to have one.
But they don't even utilize it to the correct way. This is one of the things that showed me. Like Jamal Williams in Detroit, they should have signed him back.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have signed him back. He had buku touchdowns.
20.
Almost 20. It was 20 touchdowns. Foolish numbers. Just sign him. Like what? Why are we playing around?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand that either. I really like Jamal
Williams. He loved the city. It seemed like.
Yeah, he wanted to be there. Yeah,
But like
I just pulled up his stats sheet, and his profile picture is cracking me up because he's
does he
just
have the Pokemon hat on?
no,
No.
he's just a crazed look in his face. Uh, he only played 13 games last year. He was hurt. Only had one rushing touchdown. He had 17 rushing touchdowns this previous
That
year.
was the touchdown that which is why what's his
Yes.
name? Jameis Winston said, "Nah, I
We're not
understand we're
taking
up
a
by
knee.
like
We gotta get
40."
this guy a touchdown. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the only touchdown he got last year.
This guy had 17 touchdowns last year. Yeah, I just well, that Saints team is pretty piss poor too. I feel bad for him. Yeah, but he's also at that point in his career where he's going on 29, where it's like, yeah.
See, we talk about this, but we just witnessed a man play almost 20 years at the running back position in Frank Gore. Like,
Yeah.
and he came into the league with 2 ACL tears.
Yeah.
That's how he came into the league. And all that man did was run consistently. But once again, he played for the San Francisco 49ers for a good portion of that time. Now,
Most
different
of it,
coaches.
yeah.
Different coaches, but they just, I don't know. He was able to play a long time. And all of a sudden, we get this whole thing where running backs have short careers. And historically, they do. But I think you can be, as long as you perform, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry, if he can still perform,
Yeah,
he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's in a good situation. There aren't guys that are going to. Frank Gore played till he was 37. He got 16,000 yards on the nose, which I did not realize it was even 16,000 even, which is kind of crazy when you think about
He's
it.
a Hall of Famer.
He's got to be, I would think.
Oh, easy Hall of Famer.
I don't know how he wouldn't. Do you know what his nickname is? I had no idea. The Inconvenient Truth.
The Big Frank.
Yeah. The Gore.
I think his son is in the NFL this year.
Yes, his son got drafted this year.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yeah, there were like a lot of like
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Frank Gore's kid, Jerry Rice's kid.
Yep.
I want to say T.O.'s kid maybe, or Ocho Cinco's kid, something like that, got drafted. I think. I could be wrong though. But a lot of kids, guys getting, well, they're all kids of people, right? But
yeah, we remember their fathers profoundly. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But like Jerry Rice's kid, it doesn't matter how good he is. He's never going to be Jerry Rice. So it's like, you just got to, like, he
should have changed his name.
He should, yes.
He should have changed his name.
To,
I don't know.
Quinoa or
Jesse Beans goes goes perfect with rice.
Red beans and rice. Yep.
Shake and bake, rice and beans.
Franken beans.
Franken beans.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the Darren Waller stuff is still blowing my mind. Okay, so there's the other two things. It's like the world knew we were doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Giants were announced as the off-season Hard Knocks team. So
when does off-season Hard Knocks begin?
I'm going to say the day after the Super Bowl is over.
Okay. See, good. Listen, I was hoping, but that's when they announce off-season Hard Knocks, is off-season Hard Knocks going to play before Hard Knocks this year? Because I was wondering, because it's going to be the footage of basically Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants.
Yes.
Right? That's going to be, which is why I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to have to watch it. I'm going to have to watch it.
It's going to be that. It's going to be.
They've made us watch Hard Knocks, both of us now.
I know. What's funny is I watched Hard Knocks last year, and it was like one of the. I don't typically watch it because I don't. It's not that I'm disinterested. It's like I don't want to dedicate that much time to it. Like, it's not my team. I don't really care, right? Like, I like to watch the highlights and see, like when the Lions did it and what's his face was dancing to
Campbell,
Billie Jean or whatever, right? That's all cool. But for some reason, I watched last year because it was the Jets.
Which your hated rival, not the Jets, but Mr. Rogers.
And I watched the first week and was like, I'm gonna have to watch every week now because they highlighted guys like Sauce Gardner, who is one of my favorite guys in the NFL, and what's this, Garrett Wilson. Like they highlighted those guys. I'm like, cool. And then they stopped highlighting those guys. I'm like, oh. And I wanted it to be more of that, and it wasn't. But I also like Robert Saleh. I think he's like one of those weird coaches. But
I I will tell you what the one thing they have done is they do the editing and the way it's shot makes every team look interesting.
yes,
They make every team look. It makes they make playing in NFL look fun.
mm-hmm.
Like you're watching rookies get hazed, or you're watching a 6 rounder, and then you find yourself watching the preseason hoping that 6 rounder goes. Like, they have a way of making it interesting, no matter the team that they're doing. And even if you don't like that team, Hard Knocks is usually pretty interesting.
So watching the Jets last year, they tried so hard to make you think the Jets were going to be good, but it was still obvious that their offensive line was trash. Right? They couldn't do anything about that in Hard Knocks. Like they were, because that's all the coaching staff did was complain about the offensive line. So I don't know. Plus Aaron Rodgers is, yeah, like
They tried their hardest not to focus on Aaron Rodgers though too.
and they tried their hardest to make him not seem like a douche, and they did an okay job at that. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, here's Aaron Rodgers watching
Playing around
Hamilton or whatever, right? Like, or going to musicals with Zach Wilson or whatever, right? Like, okay, cool. But we get the off-season New York Giants. We'll get to see Saquon go somewhere else. We'll get to see him draft Malik Neighbors. We'll get to see the decisions made in the trade of Brian Burns. We'll get to see that happen.
Maybe they'll show what's his name losing weight. Daboll has lost
Oh yeah,
a nice amount of weight. He's still kind of looking big, but you can clearly see
good for him.
he took his health into consideration after last year, and so maybe we'll get
this
to
team's
see.
gonna kill me.
Yeah.
We'll probably get to see like the top 30 visits. We'll probably get to see them at the combine, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like I like that kind of stuff. I like the off-season front office shenanigans. So that's cool. And then the Chicago Bears, for the first time ever, were the pick for the preseason Hard Knocks, because one, they're one of 3 teams that could be compelled to do it. Like they can say no. 2, they've never done it before, ever. They've done everything in their power to not be it. And 3, they drafted Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze in the first round. And Caleb Williams has been on all over the place and showing up at bars in Chicago, leading Green Bay sucks chants and stuff like that. So, can I tell you what my biggest fear for the Bears, Hard Knocks is?
Of course.
That Matt Eberflus is as uninteresting of a dork as he appears to be in all other media appearances.
They're gonna have to trim the Eberflus down. They're gonna have to find an assistant coach that's likable.
That dude is white bread, man. He is the most boring. He is Wonder Toast. There's no butter on it. It's just like, and okay, he is the equivalent of white bread toast, like the way my wife makes toast, which is like, it doesn't change color and it's a little crunchy.
Oh no. Oh, I hate that.
And then she slathers it in, I can't believe it's not butter, instead of even real butter. We have both in the fridge. She just likes to use that spread. That's what he is. And I'm afraid that there's no hope. There's
amount
no
of editing.
There's nothing you can do to make him look interesting. He says the weirdest shit at the most. He feels incredibly awkward. And like, I'm incredibly awkward, so awkward game recognizes game on awkward, right? Like there's just something about him. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be real rough.
It could be, but it's gonna be interesting to see what personalities stick out.
Oh God, I hope the team is full of personalities. Like DJ Moore is an interesting personality. Tremaine Edmonds is an interesting personality. Cole Kmet, those guys are like likable individuals, and you see when I see them on stuff. So I'm hoping They focus on those and less on the motivational speeches where Eberflus is like, "I love you, every one of you." You know, like, did you see when they do like here's the Bears calling Caleb Williams, right? Ryan Poles calls. He's like, who is this? Who's this? They're goofing around. Or like, they told me to wait 5 minutes. Blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna hand you off to coach. Caleb, can you believe it? Blah blah blah. And the last thing he goes, man, I love you. I love you so much. I'm going to hand you over. I'm like, why would you say that? Don't say that to this man. You don't even know him. You've met him like twice. Don't say that kind of stuff. It's strange. It's bizarre.
Because it's forcing me to go, man, I love you too. But he's like, oh, boy, that was weird.
Yes.
That was a weird encounter.
Yeah.
Or you go to, yeah, man, it was nice talking to you too.
Yeah. Thanks, coach.
Hand it back over the pool, please.
Thanks, coach. Yeah, it's one of those things. He listens to country music. Nothing against country music, but he's a country music guy, and not even like the good country music, like the really old stuff. He's like into like new like pop country. It's like, oh man, like we're not even talking like Willie Nelson or anything. Like some people, Johnny Cash. No. On the plus side, he's got a new look. He's got a beard, which makes him look different.
Uh-oh.
I gotta find. Let me see if I can find an Eberflus glow up. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, this can't be the same guy," but it is.
Breaking news on Chicago Bears Reddit. Breaking news: Matt Eberflus has a beard now.
It is that, right? Like
Bears Super Bowl champion confirmed 2020.
Okay. So here it is. I'm going to show you. This is. I know when the Fields move wasn't even the biggest offseason Bears news. It was Eberflus's glow up. On the left is where he was when he was hired. On the right is the new Eberflus. He is one of the most boring, and he says weird stuff. It's going to be real rough, and that's what I'm afraid of. That's really what I'm afraid of, because he's going to say so. You know the Bears. You know how like some coaches will have anagrams? So he's got this HITS principle. When he was in Indianapolis on the defensive coordinator, it was hustle, intensity, turnovers, and I can't remember what S stands for. But so that's on the defense side. So now he has the HITS principle, but it's got to be all encompassing. And you don't want the offense focusing on turnovers. So it is, the T stands for the ball.
Not touchdowns?
Not touchdowns. Not even turnovers, as in limiting
them.
Don't
do them.
Yeah. It's the ball. He uses the T in the, which is often the word that's like most thrown away. You don't use the in an anagram. No one does.
Not the ball.
Yes.
That would be Hibbs. Everyone knows that's what that is. He made Hibbs.
Hustle, intensity, takeaways, and smart. Playing smart. That's what it was. That's what it used to be. Now it is hustle, intensity, the ball, and smart.
Hustle, intensity, the ball?
Yes.
That doesn't even make sense.
No.
I guess it's supposed to counteract the takeaways.
Yes.
You be the ball?
Yes, the ball. Focus on the ball. Take care of the ball. Which turnovers works for that, right? If you're on defense, get them. If you're on offense, don't do them.
Mm-hmm. You could do eliminate turnovers and just take the E out. Just if you're gonna do anagrams incorrectly, eliminate turnovers, and that's the T.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just get rid of it and be his. Instead, he uses the in the ball. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what we're getting with Hard Knocks. You know when they do like the coaches like rallying cry meetings and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a feeling he's going to say the word frickin'. Like it'll be the first ever Hard Knocks that is not rated M for mature. It's E7.
He tells his whole team, "All right, guys, this will be on the show. I know it's on HBO, but kids are watching.
Yeah.
Here's a swear jar." And
yeah.
There
might be a swear jar in the Bears in Hallis Hall. I don't know. These are the things that I don't want to find out. People love to dunk on the Bears, and I have a feeling it's going to be dunk fuel. That's what I'm afraid of.
Listen, it's fine as long as they come out there and they play well. The coach can be as corny as he
The
wants.
coach is corny. That's all he is. He's nothing but corny.
Maybe,
It's gonna be so difficult.
maybe the beard came with swag. Maybe. Well, it'd be funny if we find out that he can't really grow a beard, and they should go him to the barber get one of those fake beards.
he's applying the spirit gum, and it's just like he's like a stage actor.
They just you see his beard toupee on the sideline, and he forgot to get rid of it.
Oh. Or it like starts to peel off.
Oh, it does that LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. I don't need that. I don't need that at all.
Oh, that may be one of the funniest moments in the NBA. Oh god. Oh, she got his whole beard just starts pulling like, sir, you need to use better glue. That's how you get a glue sponsor. That's how Eberflus gets a beard.
Yeah. Hair glue. I am at Eberflus.
You ever had that moment when your beard just doesn't stick anymore? just being matter of fact. It's not even funny. Just I had it happen to me once.
Yeah.
Now I use Bob's glue.
Or it could be one of those commercials where like you see him walking into a room, he's like, Coach, did you shave your beard off? And he gives a look like, oh no, hold on a minute, guys. And then that's why he talks to the camera. He's like, normally I'd be in real trouble right here. But glues back on his beard, and he's like, what are you talking about? It's always been here.
Oh, please, that'd be great to pretend that you had the beard, but we couldn't see it.
It's kind of like I think you should leave sketch where the guys, you gotta pay a guy in a gorilla suit to come rip your hair off.
Yes.
Like, oh, you've been wearing a toupee, but now here's a series of toupees that make you balder, so you can look like you've naturally gone bald.
Oh man, that would be great, man. Beard glue sponsor. It's an untapped market. It's an untapped market. We need to somehow get a beard glue sponsor on this show.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just so afraid of it, and I want to watch it, but I'm afraid what's going to happen. And
It'd be great.
I think it's gonna be the equivalent of when the Bears lose to the Packers, and I have to not watch TV. I can't be involved with anything media for like a week because I can't deal with the dunks. I can't do it. It's just too much.
I really don't want to watch the Hard Knocks stuff with the Giants because of the Saquon stuff. I really don't want to watch it because of that. Like it's not a very positive offseason for us. Like one of the worst you could have possibly shown. Like I think in later year, you got a quarterback who's possibly going to get drafted over. Everyone's talking about how the team stinks. We lost Wink Martindale.
Mm-hmm.
We lost a bunch of coaches because our coach is supposed to be. It's not. There's nothing positive. There's not a lot of positive. We got Malik Neighbors. We would have got someone else.
Brian Burns and Milky Neighbors. You got that to look at.
Those are positive. Those are positive. But we didn't re-sign anybody. We wound up losing Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley. We lost Wink Martindale. We lost coordinators. Like it's a lot of losing.
We're gonna get Darren Waller songs.
No. I'm guessing the show's already been taped and it's in the can before Darren Wallace put out a novel.
It's still the offseason. Man, they turn this stuff around quick. They have Liev Schreiber, doing the voiceover on whatever day. I don't even know what day it comes out, but it feels like the preseason games happen and the next one has it in there, right? So
that's the crazy thing. When is it supposed to be? Because July starts minicamp.
Yeah, that's when it starts, I think.
Okay.
I think that's the official start of the season is a minicamp one.
Because OTAs are still going this week, and then they'll leave and they'll come back for minicamp. Hard Knocks preseason.
August 6th is when it starts.
That seems like the time that Hard Knocks starts.
Yeah, it's when August 6th is Tuesday. August 6th is the first episode of Hard Knocks.
Okay, so when's the preseason? When's the off season one?
I don't know.
That's the one I was. Okay. Hard Knocks off season with the Giants release date and everything we know about the docuseries. Here's everything you need to know. Tuesday, July 2nd.
Yes. So we're less than a month away. The 5-part original series debuts Tuesday, July 2nd. And that's about the time the July minicamps start.
It's going to go right up until the regular season. It's going to go off season and directly into.
Oh, we might get some OTA stuff with the rookies and stuff.
OTA would be fine. That'd be great. Like with Hard Knocks, you're used to getting a weekly thing. Like you see last week's stuff that happened, and then it's always good to see. This is going to be weird because they can cut it up all sorts of ways to where we can get 4 months of off season in one episode.
Oh,
right. So that we don't have to focus. So they don't have to focus on the Saquon Barkley stuff.
Oh, there'll be 3 episodes dedicated to it. So this starts on July 2nd, goes through July 30th, and then next week is when the preseason Hard Knocks starts.
Yep.
And then they're doing the in-season Hard Knocks, but they're doing it differently this year. They're doing a whole division.
Okay.
So it's not just a team. Like last year it was Miami Dolphins. Now it's going to be like the AFC West. Or
I'm gonna tell you what, I don't watch the in-season stuff. I'm too busy watching the actual games. I don't.
I didn't watch I
don't think they realize that the reason why we watch this is because we want
there's no other football. Yeah, there's no other football.
We want football. But the in-season one, we have this thing called football. So we don't. I don't care.
Yeah, it's tough. Unless they follow a team that's either doing really good or really bad. I think that maybe they'll do the NFC South. And we can see how terrible the Panthers are on the inside. That I'd watch.
Man, I think, like I said, I still got faith that the Patriots will be worse. So I'll check the AFC East. I won't mind the AFC East.
I think either one of those I'd be interested in, but I love the NFC South because they're all kind of not good, but highlighted by the terrible Panthers. Like you gotta see like the locker room crumbling to pieces and
well, if it'll probably be the ownership that crumbles in pieces. The locker room crumbles.
Goes they gotta keep self-immolates himself on Hard Knocks.
Oh no.
David Tepper lit himself on fire. No.
they have to quiet him down. He can't. They can't have him on TV.
So let's say he does light himself on fire, and the whole team sits there and watches, and nobody even pees on him.
Well, that kind of seems fair.
Boy, now that's can't miss TV right there. Must see sort of TV. Well, Harland, I'm running out of steam tonight.
Okay,
but I have to end with a very non-football thing, and this may take 20 minutes to talk about. And I think you can appreciate it as much as I do. But as a kid, I didn't understand, but as an adult, I throw it all away for Peg Bundy. I know you're a Married with Children fan.
Married with Children fan.
And I am the same way as this. Like I didn't get it as a kid, but I get it now.
I get it.
I get it. Peg Bundy. I get it. Like Katie Seagal, even now, I think she's like 70. I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, no. It was. I love that show. Let me tell you something. I watched it in my mid to late 20s, and I've been wanting because every episode's on FX now, like on Hulu. I mean, so I've wanted to go back and watch it, but I can't bring myself to watch it. I don't want it to be spoiled. But I've seen it as an adult. I bought the episodes when they had it on DVD when I was in my 20s. So I know they hold up. But I also know that there's a cutoff to when it gets bad and it happens fast. And I just I haven't gone back and watched it because I know I cannot finish it. It's one of those shows because I know it got so bad towards the end, I cannot finish it. Like right at the seven, when they have seven, and it turns out to all be a dream,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. You've got some good episodes in the middle of that, but it's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I wonder. I'll be real honest. I haven't seen it since I watched it in your car, and then I hadn't seen it since then, since it was on TV the original time, right? So I wonder
Mhm.
how well it holds up now that I'm old, right? Like, do I still find it funny?
Some, like I said, it depends. It really depends. The earlier seasons are by far the funniest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right. So see, I always tell people season one is not the same as season two and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Season one, Al wasn't the Al we know.
Yeah.
Peg wasn't the like their tropes and their archetypes did not get established until season two and three.
Yeah.
Like Kelly wasn't a dumb blonde
Mm-hmm.
in season one. Like, and what's the thing was they were a family that was just Peggy cooked for Al every day. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were a housewife. Like that was the dynamic, and it's very funny. It's still very funny stuff. The second and third season, they go on the trope of them being crazy, and
Yep.
they have their archetypes. Still very funny. It is not until Katie Seagal gets pregnant in real life, right?
Mm.
So Katie Seagal gets pregnant in real life. She goes away from the show.
Mm-hmm.
They do a whole season of Katie Seagal supposed to be visiting her family, and I forget where they're from, but the country. Um, and then they they don't want to. Then they make her pregnant on the show after I believe she has a child. I can't remember, but I forget they make her pregnant on the show. So her and Marcy are pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and they were supposed to be having a kid. The kid never happens, or there's a dream. I forget what it is. But then they get seven. They just get another kid. One of her family members has, and they bring him back. It's one of the worst seasons of what's the name I've ever seen, and it just progressively gets worse after that. But yeah, seasons probably 1 through 6. High quality stuff. High quality stuff. You should probably go back and watch them if you haven't seen them.
I don't know.
They,
I
they
don't know
hold
if I
up.
can.
They hold up.
I will say this, and what's insane is I did not know this, and I learned it while looking up Katie Seagal.
Mm-hmm.
Is she was married to Jack White from the White Stripes. That's who her first. That's who her first two kids are with. Jack White is one of the weirdest motherfuckers on the face of the earth. I can't. Like,
She's a musician.
yeah.
She sings like when like
Yeah.
she would do the she is a singer. She's got so it makes sense. It gotta make sense.
But also, here's this, and here's one of those.
She's not married to Steven Seagal. That's what you
No.
was gonna ask.
But Jack White is my age. And Katie Seagal is 70, and he's 48 now.
Yeah, he
So
did.
there was a 22-year difference in there. So in like 90s,
He was watching the
Married with Children, right?
Married with Children. Like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
70? Man.
So he was married to Katie Seagal in, oh shoot, what is it? I can't scroll over.
Oh, I got it. 1993 to 2000.
1993 to 2000.
Oh, she's married to Kurt Sutter now.
See, I don't understand. Like if you look at Jack White's info, he was
Oh,
married.
she's been married a few times. That was
He was married to. I wonder if like how much of that is like a shtick to Meg White, who was part of the Whites. Him and Meg White were the White Stripes in 96 to 2000. I don't understand. Jack White 90, but it's the same Jack White. Like I don't get it.
That's a weird looking guy.
Oh, Jack White is. I don't know if you like the White Stripes or not, but Jack White is an amazing guitarist, and I love the White Stripes. The White Stripes and anything he does, he's one of those like makes a record, I'll listen to it. See, but they can't be right. It's got to be a different Jack White because I look on here, and it's like Jack White is known for Jack Frost, D3, the Mighty Ducks, and the Mighty Ducks. No, he's not. That's got to be a different Jack White. So that means he's previously married to Katie Seagal. So it's a different Jack White. It's got to be a different Jack White, but there's no picture of him.
Wait, is that his name? Jackson White? No, that's their son. That's their son.
But I don't see a picture of this Jack White anywhere. But when you link to it, it can't be the same Jack White. It just can't be. It doesn't make any sense. This is one of those things where Google's AI is messing me up here. It just doesn't make any sense. Katie Seagal. You click on Katie Seagal. Spouse. Previously married.
Says Jack White.
To Jack White, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you click on Jack White,
it brings up the
yeah.
Jack White is known for the Mighty Ducks.
Actor Katie Seagal's ex-husband. But then the other Jack White. But see, now if okay, so you click on Jackson White.
It looked like was he a hockey player? Because he's a skating technical advisor on most of these movies that he was in. Jack Frost, D3, the Mighty Ducks.
It can't be the same Jack White.
It's got to be a different one.
It's got to be a different Jack White, right? It has to be.
Yes.
Then why does it click like that to me? Because I'm saying, married from 1993 to 2000 to Katie Seagal is like at age 18. Right? Like, good for him. Age 18 marrying Peg Bundy, but that can't be it.
Been a solid move for him. Would have been a solid move.
Yes. But like you search, well, obviously Jack White is the more famous of the Jack Whites. I wonder if that's why he goes by Jack White III. No, I had no idea about that. Jack White, yeah.
Okay. Technical advisor Jack White talks training actors. It's not him.
Okay.
It's some. So I found a picture of this Jack White.
Did you find a picture of him?
Mighty Ducks with the Mighty Ducks. Yes.
My mind has been blown for like 2 weeks over this, as I try to figure out how in the world Jack White and Katie Seagal were married.
Yes.
But it's not
Type
that
in Jack White hockey and then go to images.
But what's wild is, so let's say, so I clicked on Jackson White and his parents, and it brings up these two tabs on Google.
Yes, that is Jack, and you click on his
like,
parents.
Here's Katie Seagal. Click on Jack White, and it's Jack White. It's the first one, the musician.
Yep.
Right? But no, it's this Jack White, known for Jack Frost, the D3, the Mighty Ducks, and the Mighty Ducks. He was previously married to Katie Seagal. But then you look at like this Jack White, and it says like his previous marriage was 1996 to 2000 to Meg White. I'm like, wow, how's he pulling off two marriages?
Jack White is that guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, like it was confusing the crap out of me. Old man confusion.
Hey. Nope. It's not that Jack White.
But then you scroll down, you got Jack Cameron White. I'm a drummer best known for my work worldwide with singer-songwriter Rick Springfield. Good for you. And there's Jackson White, the actor, which is the son of Jack White.
The son, yep.
And then, the next one is Jack White Disambiguation. There's so many Jack Whites. I guess it could have been Jack White, the Australian cricket player, or one of the other three Jack White cricketers, or Jack White, the football players. Well, not the one born in 1876. And then Jack White, the basketball player, Jack White, the golfer, Jack White, the infielder, Jack White, the outfielder, Jack White, the racing driver, Jack White. I guess it's a pretty common name. I didn't realize how common it was.
You just went straight to that one, and Google doesn't help.
And here's the thing.
Because that's the person.
All these Jack Whites, how many people named Jack White become this famous to have their own Wikipedia pages? A lot of them.
Apparently.
And none of them do anything to help you out. Like to make so the confusion doesn't occur.
Not that Jack White.
Yes. If my name were Jack White, I would probably have to wear a shirt that says "Not that Jack White" with a picture of Jack White on it.
And is he wearing a shirt that says "Not that Jack White" with another
or
picture?
"Yes, that Jack White," and it's got a picture of himself on it. It takes a bold man to wear a shirt with a picture of himself on it.
Yep.
Jack White
Oh
standing next to a
man,
motorcycle.
I would love it to just be a a bunch of Jack Whites having pictures of other people Jack White. It said not that Jack White until it comes to this
Yes, this.
Jack. Oh yeah, this is the Jack White you met.
Yeah. I think you have to. Like, I wonder how many people in the world are named Jack White. I guess it's just pretty common. I never thought it would be. But yeah, whatever.
He'll be performing in Michigan, in Detroit, in Detroit, Michigan,
Yeah, that's where he's
in
from.
a couple days. In a couple days.
That's where he's from. Well, one of them is from there. The singer.
Oh, it's an Eminem produced concert.
Hmm.
So Diana Ross, Big Sean, Jack White, Eminem.
That's an interesting lineup.
He's a very interesting lineup.
That is a very broad, interesting lineup. And all of them are headliners in their own way
To a totally
to
different
totally
audience.
different audiences, right?
Totally different audience. Could you imagine going there? Oh yeah, I'm going to see Diana Ross, and you're like, whoa, what is this?
and I had to sit through Jack White, Eminem. Who was the other person?
Big Sean.
Big Sean. Okay.
Big Sean is clearly opening for everybody.
You'd think Diana Ross might see, like,
Well, she might open because her audience is leaving right after that.
But, like, who's going there just for Diana Ross, though, right? I bet you that ticket is really expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It says produced by Eminem. So we don't even know if Eminem is actually going to be performing.
I'll tell you what. Do you care enough to want to see Eminem in concert?
No.
No, me neither. There's a time where I would say yes, but that time is long gone. Long gone.
I don't know. I don't think I would have ever wanted to see Eminem in concert just because of the sheer number of people that would have been there.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
like I prefer my smaller venues where the people that I like to listen to. If you get too big, I won't get a ticket for you.
So speaking of which, we have a mutual friend that messages us from time to time, and he likes to go to small venue. Like, I remember he sent me a message like, "I'm going to see Souls of Mischief at a winery." I was like, okay. Show starts at 5. He'll send me stuff too. He's like, "Oh, Onyx is going to be at some arcade in Milwaukee." I'm like, I don't want to go see that. I don't want to go see Onyx. Like, there's time where I would have, but like, I'm not going to do that. And apparently, him and his wife for their 15th anniversary are going to see. I got to share it with you. This.
Ooh.
Big Daddy Kane with a live band.
Oh, that could be nice.
It could be. Here's the only thing about that. I think Big Daddy Kane has like 5 songs that are worth sitting in a concert for.
I've heard Big Daddy Kane rap as of like a couple months ago. He still got it. He
Man,
still has it.
I love that first album.
He's not that old.
He's older than me. I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not like. All right. I've looked at Big Daddy Kane's address.
Go stalk him. I guess he is only 55.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what? He's not that old.
Yeah. Like Big Daddy.
That means he was super young.
Yes.
When I was like, oh man, that guy's got to be like 30 something. Like, he was an old school rapper and he was probably 28 years old.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So let's see. He's 50. He was born in 68.
Yep.
So he did the symphony in 88.
He'd have been 30. He'd have been 30 in 88.
No, he'd been 20 at, oh yeah. No, 20 at 88.
20?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Yes.
Yeah. So like his first album, oh, God, I gotta pull up the Big Daddy Kane discography because that first one.
Jay-Z was born in 69.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're 1 year apart.
Yeah.
And we were listening to Jay-Z music up until years ago. Like, why does Kane had to stop making music? That's the thing. He's not that old. And like I said, if you listen, like he'll be on Instagram or whatever, and he'll just say some couple bars. It seems like he still got it.
Yeah, he might. He might. He might.
I would listen. I would listen to him in a small venue
Yeah.
with a live band, and then just tell him like, "Yo, cut the band out," and just let him. I think he would still be very entertaining to watch.
If he just did "Long Live the Cane" and "It's a Big Daddy Thing," those two albums, and I think that would be fine.
Yeah,
Because you have "Set It Off," you have "Raw," "Ain't No Half Steppin'." "Ain't No Half Steppin'" is like the one, right? That's like the
yeah,
one.
but do you want to see a bunch of 50-year-old people trying to jam to "Ain't No Half Stepping"? There's a lot of broken hips going
Yes,
on.
I do want to see it. And my question,
back.
my question to our mutual friend was, are Scoob and Scrapple ever going to be there dancing for him?
Didn't one of them die?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure one of Kane's dancers died.
Scoob lover? I hope not. Who is Scoob and Scrap?
Scoob and Scrap lover.
Johnny Famous, aka Scoob Lovers, one half of the big. Okay. Like I don't know if they died or not.
Oh, maybe I'm incorrect.
I don't know, but they were like the backup dancers for Big Daddy Kane. I asked if he was going to be there, and he goes, "No, but Funkmaster Flex is going to be at the New York shows." I'm like, "That's not what I asked."
Yeah, he's always at the New York shows.
Yeah, like,
He's always
that's what he does.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Oh man, could you imagine a bunch of old guys sliding on the ground with big
doing the Running Man and stuff?
Sliding between each other's legs.
I think you have to do that. You have to.
Help me up, please.
Especially with a live band. That'd be pretty cool. I'd see it. You know what it reminds me of? Did you know this? Do you remember In Living Color, right? The television show.
Uh-huh.
Right? And Jim Carrey did like a Vanilla Ice parody or something like that. Did you know the backup dancers on that were the damn Far Side?
The rap group?
Yes, they were all the Far Side. And it was confirmed because by one of them, Slim Kid Trey, maybe he's like, yeah, that was us. I got to find it. It blew my mind when I found that out. Let's see. Jim Carrey, Vanilla Ice.
Baby, I'm very white, baby. That was...
Yeah, we don't need to see it or hear it, but those dancers, that's the damn Far Side. Fat Lip, Slim Kid Trey, Booty Brown, all the guys.
Why were they doing it?
It was before they were the Far Side. It's like this is like 1988, right? So Bizarre Ride to the Far Side did come out to like 92. But they're there. Jim Carrey doing Vanilla Ice, and he looks like Vanilla Ice too.
It was great. It was great.
There's the Far Side dancing in the background.
They were dancers, I guess, before they were there.
I guess so. J-Lo was there too.
Oh
dancing.
yeah, well she was a legit
girl,
dancer.
Right?
Yep. Big Daddy Kane.
I would say Big Daddy Kane, yeah. Like Big Daddy. If you could get Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, and like who else? Like, I guess you could get the whole symphony guys, like Marley Marl. and if you just did the symphony and Symphony Part 2, like over and over again for like an hour, I'd be okay with it.
Oh my God, I would be okay with it. Could have put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. Oh, I love that.
Craig G. There was a guy that never got an album. I mean, he did, but it was never good. Like, I never understood why. I was like, oh man, Craig G will be good.
From the symphony. Ooh. Yeah, no, that is what a hip hop classic I can always listen to.
Oh yeah.
If it's playing, I will listen to it. It is great.
Every time. Volume 1 or Symphony and the Symphony Part 2. Either one is fine. I don't know if they ever tried to do anything beyond that, but the symphony, and we talked about this too. Posse tracks, they don't exist anymore. I don't think. Not good ones.
No, 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 no.
I used to buy
Not
albums
like
based
that.
off of posse tracks. Like
Not like
it
that.
was always like the last cut on a CD, and I was like, oh, who's this? Like the DOC had, oh boy, Dre and Cube and all those guys, and NWA on that one, and then oh man, I can't remember. But
Yeah, no.
yeah.
There are no tracks like that.
No, I don't know why. I would talk about that too. But like when I asked you, like, are there any groups that like have the energy and the whatever of like Digital Underground, like just fun but good,
ton the group. Yeah, no.
like
They
50 guys all dancing around.
No, it's all about money now, and they don't. That's too much. That pie is too small to slice that many ways. You get 3 people, the max. There'll never be another Wu-Tang Clan.
No. Well, that's because there's like Wu-Tang Clan just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Because they just kept leaving. They was like, all right, I guess we still need 6 people on this track.
When I saw the Wu-Tang Clan live, it was Wu-Tang, and they were opening for Rage Against the Machine. There were like 50 guys on stage, and none of them were the guys I wanted to see. There was no Method Man. ODB wasn't there.
You got God, and not even you probably got Expected Deck. He's always there.
And like Capadonna.
You probably got those, but you probably got
Capadonna.
Yeah.
Those guys, Shaheem.
Yep.
Just like, oh, who's
they couldn't even with the
I'm trying to remember.
Killer Bees, like the all the offshoot ones.
Yeah, there's so many. Like, oh man.
But the ones you can always count on is Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deck, and Jizzy. You can always count on those. Yeah, that's probably it. Those you can probably count on them.
Oh my god! I just pulled the Wikipedia for the Wu-Tang Clan affiliates.
Oh, not the affiliates. It's a lot.
1.4.0 point productions. I don't know what that is. AIG. Akozen. I don't know what that is. American Cream Team. The Black Knights. Birds of Prey. Hat to Back Productions. Black Market Militia. Brooklyn Zoo. CCF Division. The Munches? I don't know. Dirty Klansmen. Deadly Venoms. GP Woo. The Gravediggers. Harlem 6. Hillside Scramblers. I'm just in the H's. House Gang. Icewater Inc. KGB. Killer Army. Maccabees. MMO. North Star. Orphanage. Authorized Fam. Royal Fam. School of the Gifted. Stone Mecca. Sons of Man. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. The Vegas. Yeah. Theodore Unit. TMF. Two on the Road. Universal Zoo Disciples. Woo Syndicate. Yellow Jackets. Zoo Ninjas. So those are the affiliates. Here's the rappers. Oh my God, there's so many. There's so many. I can't even do it. Those are just the groups, individuals. Ninth Prince, 12 o'clock. Armel, Beretta 9. Bronze Nazareth. Bronze Nazareth? Buddha Monk. Kilva Rings. That sounds like a birth control. Darkham Da Allah. Darkham B. Allah. DJ Ace New York City. Don Stanton. Dr. Amma, a.k.a. Dark-Skinned Assassin. Dreddy Kruger. Dungeon Master. Free Murder. Hands On. Hellraiser. Oh, God, there's just so many.
Yeah.
Killer Priest. Killer Sin.
Joe Pellegrino. I remember that name.
La the Dark Man. Lord Superb. Oh, my gosh. Papa Wu. The Prodigal Son. Remedy. That's another name I was trying to think of, too. Sammo Hung. I don't know who that is. Sav Killer.
Isn't he? I was about to say, wasn't that the name of a
William Hung?
Oh,
Shebang.
Shaheem, of course.
Silksky. Solomon Childs. Like, some of them sound like D-list Batman villains, too. Street Life. Sun God. Timbo King.
Young Justice.
True Villain. War Cloud. And the Young Dirty Bastard. Oh. It's his eldest son. ODB's eldest son. And then there's a list of singers. Oh, my God. And then the producers, of course. So many Woo affiliates. I had no idea.
Way too many.
and they were all like all had that same sound.
That's what made you a Wu affiliate. Do you sound like us? All right, you're in.
Like I almost feel like RZA had like a for-profit production school, like
The Full Sail for
the Full
production,
Sail, but for hip
Wizard
hop
for
production. And like, yeah, 90% of our
you
graduates have
too.
jobs because they're all in the Wu Syndicate. The Wu Tang.
You too can make beats like
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
Ooh.
He's a very good actor. Uh, the RZA is.
No, he's not. He is not. We all know he is not a very good actor.
And,
Oh,
and he also has the greatest line perpendicular to the square.
perpendicular to the square. We stand cold like flare.
Flare. Square, flare.
In particular. Oh man. I remember laughing like, what are you saying, RZA?
What's that mean? Perpendicular to the square.
Oh, it's great. Great stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's back when you just had to like make things rhyme, and it didn't matter if it made sense. And I'm sure that's the way it still is now. But like, oh, it sounds hard. Perpendicular to the square, yeah.
But the great thing about it was he knew if you just sandwich me between Jizza
Yes.
and just sandwich me between someone else,
Yeah.
you won't even understand what I'm saying because my verse will be a lead up to something vicious, right? Or you just finished listening to Jizza's I bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. Like you just listen to that.
Yeah. So the Jizza always went last, right? On the Wu Tang because nobody wanted to follow him. And I just realized that he was the blueprint. A Wu Tang group song was the blueprint to a Marvel movie, right? It didn't matter what the previous 7 guys sounded like because you had the post credits Jizza verse that made you go, all right, I'm down for this. That was a good movie. You like it doesn't even matter what happened in the previous hour 45. I got Tony Stark and the Hulk on the screen at the same time. Are you kidding me?
The greatest thing about it was like it. I don't think the RZA realized it until like because he's not really featured on the first album. It's like somewhere he's like, wait a minute, if I should shoot my horn, my verse in there.
Mm-hmm.
No one even recognizes trash.
Yeah. That the first album was when he went by Rakim still. He went by Prince Rakim before that. He had a soul album as Prince Rakim before the Wu-Tang. The Genius had a soul album, and Prince Rakim had a soul album.
Yeah, he's got another solo, that Bobby Digital, which I was not a fan of.
No. But I did like the Gravediggers albums were very good. I like those. But it wasn't just RZA. It was RZA and the other guys, like Fruquan and can't remember what the other guy's name is.
All of them, they had their first solo albums are classics, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. There are albums. So there's that one, the 36 Chambers, right? Liquid Swords.
Yep.
And then what is Iron Man?
Ghostface has that Iron Man or Raekwon has Built for My Cuban Links.
Cuban Links.
And Method Man has Tikal.
And
Oh Dirty Bastard
Old Dirty Bastard had 2 songs. That's all you needed off that album.
He had Shimmy Shimmy Y'all.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Zoo.
Brooklyn Zoo.
Yes.
And then you're right, his second album had Baby I Got Your Money.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. So yeah, that first album
first album had 2 songs. That's all you needed. And
Yep.
I want to say they were the first single too. I feel like Brooklyn Zoo
Yes, it was.
Was the B-side to Shimmy Shimmy Ya, or maybe the other way around? Maybe not. I don't know. I remember buying the cassette single for Brooklyn Zoo though. Man, I played the shit out of that.
They were great. They were great.
Yeah.
It was a time. It was a time.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. Like at that time, you could just go to the store and pick up a tape. Chances are it was gonna be pretty good. It wasn't like there was, and I think there was a level of quality that you had to be to have a record label.
Yes.
So if you had a tape out, there's a good chance you were a solid rapper, and it was a solid album.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Q&A, like it was there. So yeah, you could just go. Oh, what came out this? Like you could go and just say, oh, what came out this week? Okay, I'll take that
That
tape. And then,
that's
uh,
that's what we did. Like we every Tuesday we went to the Crow's Nest in Joliet, and that was it. They had a deal, and this was CDs. So there was a Best Buy down the road, and if it was like a big CD, it was like $6.99, right? But everything else you had to go to Crow's Nest for, and it was like 2 for 15. Two or no, I'm sorry, 2 for 25, 2 for 27. Like CDs were like still like $16, $17 a piece.
yep.
God bless it. And that's what we did, man. Sometimes, because I was really bad with everything back then, still am. Would walk out with like 4 CDs on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh yeah, I just blew my check from the grocery store on CDs because that makes sense, right? And then, and then you would get the whiff. You get the one that is a bum because you were buying it purely on faith because there was no radio station to listen to it on. There was no internet. Like you had to rely on source mics or liner notes on somebody else's and somebody else's. Oh, Public Enemy shouted these people out on their on their liner notes. I guess I'm gonna have to go buy these albums now. Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah. There were mixtapes didn't exist. There was no way to like get new music. So you just had to get excited for stuff.
Good time. It was a good time.
It was. Oh, I miss it now.
And I always say, just as I started getting in the habit of buying, I was old enough to start going to places and buying CDs and paying the $10 when I got a little bit of money to get a CD, and I was buying a lot of CDs. They started getting crazy and started raising the prices to $17, $18, $19, $20 for a CD, and I was like, all right, man, I wish there was another way to do this. What? Napster?
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing. Like I would have continued to buy them had they not outpriced. I remember saying last album I had was 75 minutes. Why is this album only 59? Cost the exact same amount. I remember it felt like the runtime on albums even got shorter. I was going from 20-track list to a 15-track list, and 7 of them were skits.
Yes. Yep.
It's like,
yes, there's no like I get why they thought they had to do skits on albums, but there was nothing worse than skits on an album. It was so bad.
Too many breaks into it. It's just not. It's one or two maybe, or an intro and an outro.
Intro and outro makes the most sense.
But don't break up good music with a skit.
No, and then don't have the skit bleed into the next song. It's gotta don't. It's gotta be like a hard stop, and I gotta have a hard start to the next song because I don't want to be like I don't want to have to put that skit onto a tape, so it sounds good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, I hated that.
Yeah, like that's where they messed it up for me. And like I said, I feel the same way about that as I do about cartridges when they started getting $75 and things like that. It's like y'all guys are now just trying to take my money, and I don't have much. I'm a child.
Yeah. Listen, I like Final Fantasy, but I'm not paying $100 for this cartridge to put into my Super Nintendo. So it was skits, right? And I feel like 36 Chambers and the torture skit ruined it for everybody, right? And then they also had all of the old kung fu movie lead-ins and stuff like that.
Those to me don't feel like skits. No. They feel like samples. Like if you do a sample on something, it feels like part of the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Like versus a game of chess. It's like a sword fight.
Yes.
You must think first before you move.
Yes.
And that didn't feel like that wasn't much. But yeah, no. But you're right. I think Torture is one of the first ones that I can remember owning. And then Biggie started doing it.
Yeah.
And then it just started getting out of control.
Yes. It was that, and then everybody was putting Scarface samples on like every song, every album.
Jay-Z did that a lot.
So many. Yeah. Say hello to my little friends all over the place after the Ghetto Boys did that and Scarface. But then, so you had all the skits. The Torture skit is still like eternal favorite, but it's so funny because One of them is a creative, right? I'm gonna put a hanger on a stove and let that shit heat up, right? And that's slow, like, right? And there was like, I'm gonna put your dick on the dresser and smash it with a bat. like there's two different tortures there, right? Um,
He says the last one is I'm gonna soak your ass whole cloves and keep
feeding you,
feeding you,
feeding you,
feeding you,
feeding you.
feeding.
And it goes right into
Oh,
Method Man, right? Like
yes.
it's a great skit into song, and it was so. But it's like I'm gonna put your balls in
Put your
between
balls on the dresser and nail them shit to
with a spiked bat. With a spiked bat, a unspiked bat will do the trick just as well. You don't. The spike is like a hat on a hat. You don't need the spiked bat.
And he goes, "Bah!"
Yeah, like I think the threat of a spike bat is enough to make you hurt, right? It's like, oh my god, like you're gonna do that to me? Why? And on a dresser, like not on the table, like a dresser's like high, it's like 5 feet in the air. So you like,
You're
I'm gonna pull over a chair. You're gonna stand on the chair, and then you're gonna put that shit on the dresser, and I'm gonna hit him with a spiked bat. Wow,
Oh no.
there's a lot of work that goes into that.
It's torture.
Yeah.
Torture, man. He was thinking outside the box with his torture.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Biggie had the skits, and then everybody had skits, and then
Then
double
everyone-
albums. Everybody had double albums for a while, and it was so unnecessary. Like, just make one really good album. And like you're talking about, like, yeah, you got a 38-minute album. Now,
That is what I did not like.
Mhm.
Paying my money for albums that I felt like you just phoned it in on this.
now here's the thing though. Like, Illmatic is a short album though. I think it's only
It is
it's only 10
10,
songs
nine-
and like
nine
40
tracks
minutes
on it.
maybe.
I didn't like it. I love the album, and I'm so glad I listened to it later on. I wasn't listening to it when it first came
Yeah.
out, because when I listened to Illmatic, I was like, is it done?
Yeah,
Like, I was like,
I agree.
I had heard every song, because pretty much every song on that album is a single.
Almost, yeah.
Like it's like the world is yours. Not
Oh, that's the
that
second one. Illmatic, you
Yeah,
got
that's the. What is it? Illmatic.
Illmatic.
Yeah.
You got Life's a Bitch, Halftime, One Love,
Oh,
Represent,
yes,
New
One
York
Love.
State of Mind.
One love.
Oh, the world is yours is on that. World is yours.
Yeah, that's-
Whose world is it? It's mine.
So, like I said, I heard every single one. They all felt like singles.
It ain't hard to tell was the first single off that. But what sucks is though, Halftime was off of the Zebrahead soundtrack that existed like 2 years before that. So it's like it wasn't
Yeah.
even a new song.
Yep. So it's just like I remember listening to it like, oh yeah, I used to say I'd never heard the Illmatic album, but I've heard every single one of these songs. So yeah, but you're right. It is short. It's 10 minutes long. No, I mean 10 tracks long.
Only 9 songs.
39 minutes and 51 seconds.
But it's only 9 songs because the first one is the opening intro skit, I think.
Yes. Yep.
It's been a minute since I've listened to Illmatic front to back, but I think
It don't take long.
no, it doesn't. Like I got a little bit of time tonight.
long.
Maybe I'll listen to it.
Oh man, yeah, it's a who's who of DJs, of producers as well. It's absolute.
I just realized. So as I'm looking at this, that came out April 19th, 1994. It's 30 years old.
Yeah.
And then I had something here too. LL Cool J's Bigger and Deffer is almost 40, I think. Like that was one of the first rap albums I ever bought because it has Bad on there. No rapper
Yes.
can rap quiet like I can. Oh man.
So bad, man.
It's in the sand.
sand.
And I still, boy, if at any moment, if anyone says Buckaroo or Bonsai, I am not Buckaroo Bonsai, but busted out as I said the type of rhymes that make MCs wish would I die. That makes MCs wish that I die. Oh man, when I'm retired, I'll be worshipped like an old battleship. LL bad. All the rappers know when I enter that side, that's hey yo, there he go. Man, I still listen to that song. Man, I love that song.
It's great. It's yeah. I had somebody talk about how they didn't think LL Cool J was good, and I was like, listen, if you're listening to too much newer LL, then I can agree. But
Is there new
no.
LL?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But by newer, I'm talking 1999.
Yeah.
If your LL listening isn't between 84 and 96, then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He had a nice football career. 12-year run. I don't consider anything else. He's not in the same league anymore. If I gotta listen to something like a phenomenon, I'll be like, oh
No, don't need
oh,
it. That GOAT album. See, and that kills me is the term GOAT. I hated it when it came out. I hated it when he had that album. I hate it now as a terminology. I just hate it.
I love it as a terminology. I find it weird that it is comes from him, but I'm like, was he the first person to really think about that? Like, we've been saying greatest of all time forever.
Yeah.
Is he the first person to put that as GOAT?
That's the first time I remember when he did it, and I was like, what? So yeah, Bigger and Deffer came out May 30th, 1987.
Not quite 40.
No, 37 years old.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
It's getting there. Yeah, yeah. No kidding. 37. Man.
Wait, no, is that my math right? Yes, right. I was gonna say I was older than it, so I was born. So
Yeah, a little bit older, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Great stuff.
Well, now I definitely have to go.
All right, man.
Started with Peg Bunny
All right.
and ended with LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
All right. All right, Harland, have a good one.
Man. Talk to you later.